everyone. I'm Theresa Vee, and this is the place to be if you're spiritually focused sensitive who wants to feel more alive in this world that you love. Each month, I check in with our beautiful archangels to see what advice they have for us as we navigate the energies of this planet and the universe at the time. This month, the angels are speaking to us about our shifting purpose. Who are we now in this new energy? About the power of connection, about moving from resistance, fear, and anxiety into flow, and about how our own clarity aligns us with the infinite support of our angelic helpers and the entire universe. Stay tuned. We all know we're in a new phase, in a new paradigm, and our quarantine time left us feeling isolated and alone. Most of the people in the world experienced being shut off from others in some capacity. And this actually worked wonders for us. It realigned us with our desire to connect. It also caused us to open up our channels of connection even further so that we could connect more subtly to other people on the planet, and so that we could realign our connection with the divine beings and the angelic beings and our guides and our helpers. We emerged from that time as something new, even though we haven't fully realized the magnitude of this yet. We're still in the process where we are figuring out how to be in this new, different, lighter energy. And for a lot of us, that's kicking up equal and opposites in our system, which we'll talk about as we move forward. We were kind of forced to look inside and to see what we value at this time in our life. What matters to us, what needs to be rearranged, what needed to be let go of, and also what we wanted more of as we moved forward. We emerged from that time with a new alignment. And one of the things that is universally clear is we wish to have more connection. I have been hearing it from every person. We want to be connected with our divine team, the beautiful angels, and our guides, as well as with each other. We're desiring in-person, aligned community to share our experience of being incarnate on this planet now. Our purpose for being here seems to have shifted. There are pieces and parts that no longer feel aligned. We may be called into doing something completely different, or to deepening in a new way into what we are already doing and how we are already showing up. But this clarity that we brought in about what is important to us, what feels aligned, what needs to go, what we need more of, has brought us deeper in line with how we desire to show up right now and how we can best serve and be a force of love. Now, as we emerge from this time, that sense of desiring community is really up, especially in communities like this where we are spiritually focused and spiritually led. We have also opened ourselves to connecting in ways we wouldn't have otherwise. And I don't just mean through technology. We've opened ourselves to connecting etherically through the energy channels. When we feel so disconnected, we move to a place of near desperation for that human contact. And so in order to get it, we open ourselves to feel what's coming from others energetically, to connect with each other and support each other, because as a collective, we were all going through similar feelings. For a lot of us, we didn't realize we were doing that. And so now, as we emerge from that time, able to connect again, we are still just as open, and we're still drinking in the energy of the collective. So this is for your awareness to know that this has shifted. We are connecting energetically much more easily than we did before, which also means we need to pay attention to our energetic boundaries. How much do we want to connect? When? And for what purposes? in all of that, our desire to connect on this earth plane has been heard. And the magnetic process of pulling those people that are sending out similar frequencies, similar desires, similar energies, they are being magnetized to us and we to them. Our resonance is starting to take place. So we will begin meeting here on the physical plane, which is great news for those of us who have desired connection for so long and now have that ability to create the connections with ease and grace, because we are all open. We are all receptive to each other's signals, desires, and the magnetics of attraction. We're connecting on a much more subtle level so that we can embrace each other energetically first. In a new world, in a new energy, in a new paradigm, our purpose has shifted. The way we are being asked to show up has shifted. Some of the things that we might have been doing before are no longer necessary. Some of them might be more necessary. Other things require us to learn something new or view something in a different way. So we are shifting and changing. Life purpose-wise, we're also shifting and changing physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as we figure out how to best get our footing in this new paradigm energy. Many of us have been feeling really tired or really sad or upset. This is because our bodies are all changing at different rates: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And we are feeling that disconnection. We're feeling disconnected with ourselves, which leaves us feeling disconnected from our guidance and from the divine. And the angels are saying this is a period of integration. This is a period of time where we need to give ourselves that rest. We need to do the self-care. Remember, the angels have been telling us for quite some time now, at least this year, that self-care is no longer an option in this new paradigm. It is a must. It is a necessity for our survival and our health. And so, as we move forward, the understanding that we are just adapting to this new energy, our bodies need to adapt. We need to also figure out our footing in terms of how are we to show up now. Again, the questions of what feels aligned, what doesn't, what am I being called to do, and then listening and letting go of the resistance, letting go of the need to talk ourselves out of something when we feel it so clearly, when we know that we are being guided with every fiber of our being. When we resist these intuitive hits, we are launching ourselves back into the energy of fear, of anxiety. We're giving in to the resistance, and we are living in what is the opposite of flow. Our angels want us to know that we don't have to take all of the steps at the same time. We can receive the guidance, we can see the direction that we're being asked to move in, and then what they want for us to do is just listen, ask for guidance, and take the first small step. After that, all of the steps will start to come one at a time and be laid in front of us, and we can feel into, does this feel right? Should I take this step exactly as it's laid out, or do we need some adjustments here? Moving forward with our angels, with our guides, with the divine and our higher self leading. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing anymore. We don't have to blindly follow our guidance and go where the wind blows us. Yes, I want to do this. I want to follow the guidance. And if there is a piece of it that doesn't feel completely aligned in our lives, or that we feel doesn't bring us joy, then we can say, this isn't bringing me joy. We together, oh divine team, need to find a way where this can bring me joy in the process. And that's really important for us, especially those who have been on this planet a while and have allowed ourselves to continuously serve, continuously give, and receive very little in return. This is a pattern that we've been asked to break over the last decade repeatedly. And now this is a pattern that cannot exist in this new paradigm. And so if we are still going into those old ways of being, into that old pattern, we might be very uncomfortable right now. So we need to look at, why are we feeling disconnected if we are? Why are we feeling tired if we are? And how can we change the old patterns that we are going to by default? Our bodies were not made to be in a stressful situation for as long as we were. We were in a situation for at least a year that required hypervigilance, put us into stress and fear. Not only individually, we might not even have experienced those things individually, but as a collective. And as sensitive empaths, we definitely pick up on the energy of the collective. And so now, as we emerge and we begin to be able to move forward from this time, our bodies, our physical systems need some attention because they have been in these states for so long. So that is why so many of us spent June feeling really tired. We were tired because our system needed to be replenished. Our bodies needed to be taken care of because we were in such a state of overdrive for so long. And the more we gave into the tendency to push through, the tendency to show up for others and do and do and do, instead of listen to the messages our body was giving us and heed them, the more we moved into those old patterns, the more disconnected and the more tired we became. So really, giving in and surrendering, listening to the messages of our bodies, as well as asking for the guidance and the support, that's the way through. We are not here to do all of this alone. We will be provided with guidance as well as with connections. We just have to continue to ask and open ourselves to the experience of having that, to the knowledge that even if we don't feel it right now, that it is on the way, that we are supported in this way, and to move into the trust and faith instead of the doubt. Despite the heaviness that a lot of us have been going through, and it feels like we've been stuck and mired, this is actually a time where we are in a much lighter energy. And this heaviness is the counter energy that we've been trying to carry forward, that we haven't fully released or looked at. And so that's why we're especially aware of it right now, because it literally cannot move forward with us as we move into this lighter energy. Spirituality now is much more of an experience of boots on the ground. It's much more of an experience of grounding the energy of the things that we've experienced before into our day-to-day, because those things, those synchronicities, those miraculous experiences, those wonder-filled moments are no longer going to be something we have to seek outside of us. They are going to be things that, as we ground them into the here and now, as we ground this knowing into our day-to-day experience, they will just be available to us here. We are creating heaven on earth. As we do this, there is a split in our experiences. We are actually leading parallel lives. So I could be sitting here having one experience, someone else could be sitting next to me having a completely different experience of the world. We are in parallel realities, but for right now, we are sitting right next to each other still. Eventually, as time moves on, we will be splitting into completely separate parallel realities. And so this is just for us to know that we don't have to convince anybody of what is true and what is real. All we have to do is feel into it for ourselves and stand in it in our own lives, because other people are doing the same for themselves. And so getting into the arguments and the semantics doesn't help the situation, because they will not convince you because you're feeling your truth, and you will not convince them because they have chosen and are feeling their truth. And so it's a time for us to just accept we're living in different realities, and that is how it's going to be moving forward. It is not yours to save the entire world. All you can do is show up as the most whole being you can, as the most authentic expression of yourself that you can, and allow others to be inspired by the way you exist. Creative energy is key to getting you in touch with your clarity right now. So whatever it is that you need to do to create something, it may just be for yourself, it may be something bigger and larger than you. Whatever it is that is asking to be created and birthed through you will help you to reconnect with your clarity. It will clear the channel so that your guidance can come in. And not only your guidance, but the infinite support of the universe that is available to you in service to your vision, in service to how you want to feel, how you want the world to feel when you get clear. Abundant support can rally behind you and also can be received because you are clear and connected. Creativity grounds the energy and the guidance and invites support. So it's really important throughout the month of July and as we move forward to practice conscious connectedness, connecting with each other in a conscious way, connecting with our divine team in a conscious way. And even in the moments where we are feeling really lonely because our way of connecting doesn't seem to be working, our asking of our angelic helpers and the divine doesn't seem to be yielding results. If we have been in those moments of loneliness and emptiness, continue to ask, continue to make it a practice to be in receptive mode, because it will shift and it will change. This is just a time where you're adjusting your footing on the earth. Our beautiful angels want us to understand that when our lives feel stuck, that is when it is hardest for them to help us, because energy isn't moving and flowing. So we need to do what it takes to get our lives unstuck. And they are suggesting getting creative energy moving so that they can swoop in and offer us the support and the love that we deserve and that is our birthright. And Archangel Michael is saying for this exact reason that it is hardest to pick up your mantle in this state of in-between. He says that you know in your heart that you are here for a purpose. You know in your heart why you have chosen to be here now. Choose it again in each moment. Choose it again every day. Choose to do it with your whole heart. And the in-between won't last long. You are infinitely supported and loved beyond measure. That feels really complete from our angels this month. If you would like to connect on a deeper level with many of the archangels, we invite you to take part in our Meet the Archangels workshop series happening throughout the month of July. In this series, you'll get to experience each of their energies so that you can learn how you feel them, how you interpret their energy, and you can hear and experience the messages that they have for you personally without any doubt. You can still sign up, and if you've missed any of the classes, don't worry, you'll receive the recordings as soon as you sign up. For more information, tap the links in the comment section or in the description of this video. I can't wait to see you there. Bye.